Hello and welcome to the Magic 2011 episode of Commander Durdle. So let's dive in. So here's the card pool of 180 cards. If you remember from the set musings, there are no legendary creatures. There are legendary planeswalkers but no legendary creatures. So that means I'll need to settle for a build around rare. So here's the card pool. I've got a slimmed down version of this, which we'll see in a moment, but let's just have a quick look at the rares and just see possible angles I could have gone. So we do have, just in terms of removal cards, just general first of all without getting too specific. So we've got Day of Judgment at rare, and obviously there's a number of support cards that might be useful at lower rarities, but where there's no legendary creature that I've in the set, then I'd focus on the rares. We could build a Goblin tribal deck, build around Goblin Chieftain, and just use appropriate commander. In red we've got Hoarding Dragon, Magma Phoenix. They wouldn't really complement that, but interesting one here with like red mono red artifacts. Magma Phoenix, some sort of 3 damage build. We'll skip over that one for the moment. So blue's interesting. I suppose I could have had a blue chaos and steel stuff theme, much like I think we saw when I was building a red chaos deck. And Tukto Shade, this is sort of one of these classic sort of black creatures where you can just invest a whole ton of black mana into them and they just pump based on how much spare mana you have. So I'm assuming there's a theme you could do around that. Brittle Effigy just basically exiles a target creature, so more of a utility card than really a build around. I mean, you could have an exile deck, I suppose. Jinxed Idol, interesting. And Triskelion, so like a Serrated Edge type card. That would lean towards more of a counter themes deck, as in +1/+1 counters. But no, what I elected to do, as you can see I skipped over, is let's do Ooze, and more specifically we'll do Ooze Tribal. So what I've done now is taken obviously everything that's in green or is an artifact from that card pool, kept those, got rid of everything else. I had to choose obviously a commander to sit on top of this because our rare is simply a regular creature, so we can't use that as our commander. So we have our Mitotic Slime, so 4 and a green, 4/4, when my Mitotic Slime is put into a graveyard from battlefield, put 2 green ooze creature tokens onto the battlefield. They have, when this creature is put into a battlefield, put 2 1/1 green ooze creature tokens on the battlefield. So you've got this sort of replicating oozes, but they produce sort of oozes smaller than the original ooze, if that makes sense. So I thought I'd go with Aeve, Progenitor Ooze, so 2 and 3 green, legendary creature ooze. It's a 2/2, has Storm, so whenever you cast a spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. Copies become tokens. So Ooze tokens, it's not legendary if it's a token. Well, that's good. And when it enters the battlefield. It enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other ooze you control. So yes, we want to get lots of oozes. So I can see myself probably getting rid of a lot of things here that don't give me useful utility. That is more useful than the utility of having ooze tokens, things that play to that theme. Excuse the creaking, I'm just trying to get comfortable in my chair here. It's very comfortable but creaky chair. Okay, so what do I want to keep in terms of the sorceries? You can see here I've already got the standard sort of starting around 34 land. This was just one of the forests that was in the card pool. So Cultivate will keep Hunter's Feast. What does that do? Any number of targets? Interesting political card. I'm going to take it out of the deck. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So if I was to keep that, I might be interested in that sort of. So with this, sometimes I'll keep stuff where I want to see if the algorithm like locks into it. Because this would be a good thing to get back. So I'll leave Nature's Spiral in here. Always nice to have a card, I think, that does tutor permanence or any card from your graveyard, just because of how much stuff potentially can end up in a graveyard. This is a bit too specific. I don't know if I want a Giant Growth as a spot pump, like a one-off. Hornet Sting, not really. Naturalize artifacts, yeah, we'll keep that. Plummet, destroy target creature with flying. I suppose it's always a nice way to have nice thing to have something to deal with flying in a green deck because of the lack of flyers. We do have acidic slime, which is always nice. This is interesting. So 2 in a green, it turns your forest into a 4/5. Yeah, I don't want it to really dilute the ooze theme too much. No, it's not life gain deck. 7/7 with trample for 7. No. No. Oh, yeah, remember sort of Death Touch was in the set, wasn't it? No. We'll keep the Llanowar Elves. We'll obviously keep the Mitotic Slime. The Prize Unicorn. Interestingly lure type effect. Maybe not. No. Sacred Wolf. Can't be the target spells or abilities your opponents control. What do we got? Hexproof. I'm going to temporarily leave that in and just see what happens on the equipment side of things, maybe. Okay, we'll keep that. Take that out. I don't really want the Ornithopter. And this... No. Now, there's some interesting utility artifacts in this set. See... I don't know if I'm going to be playing a lot of artifacts, but it is quite nifty to be able to untap, say, a Soul Ring. Let's leave that. Flip a coin. No. No, I think I want something a bit more consistent with card draw. No, thank you. No, none of those. Jinxed Idol, not in this deck. Crystal Ball, yes. So you remember Scry was a thing in M11, and this is an interesting Rattlesnake card. So 1 to cast, but 4 to trigger it, and we get to exile a target creature. So I'm going to leave that in. Okay, so we're looking pretty thin here, but that was expected. So I've saved it, and what we will do is come to, we need to start choosing stuff. So let's go into this and just kick straight into here and see what happens. So we're playing Ooze Tribal, so we're going to have a high creature count here. So I'm just going to get the support cards going. I don't want to go too crazy on the artifacts, I don't think. I think it's just going to be the usual suspects. Okay. So we are playing mono green. Soul Ring would be nice. This is interesting. Fits in with the theme of the set, but also whenever you cast a creature spell, you may pay green if you do draw a card. So that's our card drawing green. It doesn't hurt to have a 2-drop mana rock. I'm going to include this. Cast a creature spell. Target creature you control gains +2/+2. Well, that does keep him with the pump thing, although it does it till end of turn. When a creature leaves the battlefield. Okay. That's interesting. The Ozolith. Do I want to... I suppose a Lightning Greaves would be nice. Now, let's just play around with this. I don't know if I want this many artifacts in here. So is there anything here that I'm going to be tapping? I just want to see how much advantage I do actually get in having... Let me just... switch the artwork on that slightly. Yeah, I think I'm not going to keep that in there. I'm sure there's better. Yeah, no, that's too obvious. Okay, we'll leave that like that for the moment. Okay. Planeswalkers. Next. Oh, there's only one suggestion here. Yeah. At home in a green deck. Enchantment side of things. So this is good to pump our. I think that the tokens are going to be too large to really leverage something like Skull Clamp consistently, so I won't have a Skull Clamp in here on the artifact side of things, I don't think. Put a slime counter. Oh yeah, definitely that. So let's look out for. I like the new way this is laid out actually. It's a lot easier to see what's going on. Whenever a non-token creature. Not really. More ooze. Okay. That's nice in a creature deck. So's that when we're playing with counters. I don't know if I want to be messing with that. Fist end. Could be problematic in a token deck. There's some wild growth in here. Trying to creature lose a little bit. This green elk creature with base power toughness. Not sure. Yeah, maybe for the mana surge. Okay. I'll leave it like that for the moment. So, should we have a look at some utility lands? Of course. I like that. That, and that, and that. This is always interesting in a monocolored deck, as is Blighted Woodland. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably not. I have to remind myself what that card did. Cycling, no. I don't know. Right, let's cut this down a bit. Okay. Just bump that a little bit. We are in green. Okay, instants and sorceries, so no doubt we will have the usual things here. We would see we've got Krosan Grip. Harrow, of course. Charge through, what does that do? That Okay. Greatest power among non-human creatures you control. Yeah, that's interesting. Bonus you control gain hexproof and indestructible. Okay. There's my green removal. That's cool. Target player taps all basic lands he or she controls. Yeah. Draw cards equal. It's nice to have card draw. An ability to untap all creatures in a creature deck. And modal destruction. Charge through, did I? Because I changed it and then forgot what it did. I don't know if I want that or not. Probably not. Not at this point in time. So again, I'm going to prune back the instance here. I went a bit over the top. Okay, so we got neutralize. Maybe I'll wait and see what gets suggested, and let's not be too hasty here. Let's have a look and see what we get suggested on the sorcery side of things before I get over the top. Right. Oh, Kodama's Reach, Rampant Growth, Slime Moulding. I think I'd already got did I already have an Overwhelming Stampede in here? Oh no. We should definitely play that. Don't know. And that. And that. Each creature you control. Yeah, definitely that. It's not really a squirrel deck. I'm searching for a couple of basic lands. Or generating tokens. Right, so we've got everything apart from our creatures, I think. Topping up our creatures. These look a bit weird because they're from Magic the Gathering Online. Well, not Magic, Arena, I suppose. But I'll leave them for the moment. I'm not going to get too bogged down in that, I don't think. Was this ever reprinted? I don't think it was. Let me have a quick look. Beyond. Oh, no, the original is from Weatherlight. Yeah. Let's do that. So, instants, sorceries, artifacts, enchantments. Yep. We got our Planeswalker, and we did do our utility lands, which is good. So let's get our creatures and then we'll be done. This is a bit too easy. So I'm looking for oozes really first. So let's target all of those first. Seeing as this is ooze tribal. And then we'll work back from there. What's Oranry? Okay. Oh, yeah, of course, experiment 1. It'd be interesting to see what that would do. Come on down, oozes. Just all in with the ooze. Yeah, always keep your eyes open for shapeshifters with interesting abilities. It's a battlefield. You may exile a creature from your graveyard. If you do, exile target artifact. Okay, another way of dealing with artifacts and enchantments. Let's see where we are on the count here. 24. So we've got 4. Okay, good to know. So 4 utility creatures. What do I want to do? Do I want more mana dorks or this is creature tribal, that might be more fun. And that's probably more appropriate in a mono green deck. Another non-token creature in the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. Every creature type. Solemn in there. One more card. Is there anything in green I would really like in this deck? terms of utility creatures. So I've got a metallic mimic, have I? I wonder if that would be cool. Let's have a quick look at that one. Yep, that would work. Okay, there's our deck. Right, so stats wise, yeah, we've got a bit of a bump here around what, 3 CMC and 5. Oh yeah, good. We have a value type of 20 for oozes, which is always good. We're playing green, so yeah. And we've got our shapeshifters, which contribute to being an ooze. So let us have a look and see what's going to happen, shall we? I might need to rebalance the land base a bit, we'll see. Let me export this first, just in case something weird happens. Okay. So, we have a forest. Well, that's not the greatest of opening hands. Oh, another forest. So at least we've got turn 2 Lightning Greaves, which we could get out. We have a Blighted Woodland, which we wouldn't be able to sack until we get 4 mana out. This can't come out till turn 5. Okay, this really we want to cast when we got a whole load of mana to invest. We've got a lot of turn 4 stuff, but if I play this I can, at least I've got this should I need it. So yeah, we've got 3 mana on board. Unfortunately, we can't yet play our Predator Ooze. Okay. Oh, and we have our Rogue's Passage. So this is a little too slow for a green deck, really. We've got our Forest. So now we are in a position to cast our Scavenger Ooze. The only thing with this is really I would want to stack up some spells somehow before I cast this to really leverage this ability. So that's the only thing with this. I'm wondering whether I don't have enough small spells really to make this really work the best. Plus, yeah, you want this thing, I think you want to actually hold off until you've got a lot of stuff in play. So this is definitely the sort of commander I think that you wouldn't want to play early on. You just want to build your board up. But things are not looking great here. Let's have a look again. Okay, so I'm just looking to see what hands look like here really, because okay, this is better. It's not good for a green deck really to get sort of stuck. Yeah, I'm just looking at my 5-drops. Just to see if there's anything here which might be better served. Well, I'm sorry, I might be better served by having more forests in the deck. Mana and 1 mana of... Or if I could pull... something else. Okay. So it looks like the way I've got this set up is most of my... because I didn't include a lot of mana dorks, most of my green mana acceleration may start to occur a bit later. That's the only thing. Decisions. I know it's Ooze Tribal and I just took out an Ooze. Just have a look at that. Oh, even worse. That's funny. Hang on. Oh, that's better. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I think this is a little bit more like it. So turn 3 we can get our blob out. Oh yeah, we're making nice forest drops now. Yeah, we've got slime moulding here, so we could kick out a... what's that? 3/3. Yeah, things are looking a lot better now. So this is definitely better. So let's have a look again. I mean, I didn't really want to take the ooze out, but yeah, this is more like it actually. I think. Yeah. So I could probably gone 2 ways here. I could have, you know, either like I did add more land or add in more mana dorks. But I feel more comfortable, I think, adding the land in because I've got other accelerators in here, which just take a bit of time to come online. This is not such a good hand, although it gets better as I draw more cards. Yeah. So interesting having Ooze Tribal, but I don't know if this is a really... It's almost like one of those decks where suddenly everything just comes together, but then you could have died before then. So yeah, anyway, I think I'll stop it there actually. I think I've seen as much as I want. So really this deck is almost like getting just a balance of like the Ooze tribal with the utility and the green mana acceleration in the right sort of spot. I'm not. This curve's a little weird. But I think that's just a consequence of a lot of the utility and the slime being around 5 mana. So that, yeah, that in itself maybe. And of course a lot of the other stuff, you would tend to want to cast it later to leverage certain things. I mean, Experiment 1 obviously you want out as early as possible because it's got Evolve on it. So yeah, there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed that episode. It sort of built itself. I'm definitely using the EDH Rec suggestion engine with a fairly tight seed. Thematically, it does give you obviously some very tight suggestions. So it will be interesting to see what I get on in a situation where I've got a little bit more wiggle room and how it responds to that. So we'll see in future episodes where we might go. I'm going to be curious in the next block where we've got artifacts. Excuse me, my voice is going a little bit. This is the second of 2 videos I've just recorded back to back. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Bye for now, and I will see you in the next episode.